Hey, this is Chad.
This is Demian.
Hey, and you're watching RezcastTV.
What? Gamer for life, bro.
Okay, that last part doesn't go in. Welcome to episode 3 of the RezCast TV show. We are glad to have you here tonight. We've got a lot going on in the show tonight, so we're going to get into it here in just a sec. But before we do, let me introduce to you my partner in crime, QRDS2, also known as Demian, since that's what his mama calls him. And, that's the name
many names
his mom gave him. And he's down in our southern studios tonight. Demian, how are things in sunny Florida tonight?
Sunny Florida. Well, they've actually been somewhat sunny. We've had a good bit of rain up to this point. Probably stopped a day or two ago, but it has not stopped being hot and humid. And so, but other than that, it's not too bad.
All right. Well, and I'm doing good. My name is Chad, and I am, as you can see above my head, Preacher Man 23. And we've had our weather here has been abnormally cool compared to what it normally is. But we're starting to go back up again with the humidity and the heat and everything like that. So, but the state fair is going on, and if I can, one sec.
Oh no! I wonder if he's going to show us some of the state fair pictures he's been sharing. It's straight out of Charlotte's Web, I swear.
It was funny that you said something about Charlotte's Web. One of the things they do at our state fair is they do can sculptures out of like canned good foods, and then they take those cans after the fair is over and they donate them to a food bank, right? And one of the can sculptures was the barn scene from Charlotte's Web with the web up in the corner, and it said like "good pig" or something like that, or whatever one of the things that Charlotte the Spider spelled. But no, I got this beautiful, well, we'll just do it this way. I got this beautiful, beautiful soybean hat at the state fair. You like that? It says, been there, done that. That's right, baby.
I gotta wait to see this thing.
That's right. Been there, done that.
Oh, this is the one that thing was god awful. What are you talking about?
Oh man.
Picture.
Yes, it's a great hat. I was gonna wear it tonight, but I was afraid that my head might blend in with my green screen, but it doesn't. So but we're not gonna wear that hat. I had to answer some soybean questions to get that hat for free. It was pretty awesome. So it was a good.
What about
soybean? My father-in-law used to farm them.
Oh my God.
My son has actually done something I've never done. He's 13 now, but when he was, I don't know, probably 7 or 8, he actually got to drive a combine. I have never done that. Yes, I know. My father-in-law let him drive his combine. So, but they don't farm anymore. And actually, all the answers. It was this thing called Bean Go, like BEAN Go, like bingo, but bean. And you had to go around and just like find the answers on the wall. It was pretty awesome. So,
Gotcha.
Oh, well, it's the lime green. I see. Okay. So yeah, so it was great. We had a great time at State Fair. If you've never been to the Indiana State Fair, it's been around since it's like the 154th year of doing this fair, something like that. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a great tradition. So,
It's almost
anyway,
as long as you have.
Almost, but not quite.
You should wear the hat.
Yeah, I think we're gonna leave the hat where I put it. All right, so that's what's been going on in my life. Demian, tell us, what have you been doing in the gaming world, friend?
Gaming world. So we got some new stuff happening, and we're going to talk about more at the end of the show. But a little preview is, if you've noticed, I haven't been streaming as much Eve and some other games. I've been playing some WoW and some
WoW.
Yeah, some WoW.
Is that like the Sham WoW?
Yeah, Sham WoW.
Okay.
You too can have it now for $19.95. It was no,
Or
it was,
$14.99.
For World of Warcraft, and
Okay.
playing a little bit of Heroes of the Storm. So some hots. And
I hear that
some
Heroes of the
bombs.
Storm game is hot.
It's hots.
Oh, it's hots. Yeah.
Hots. and a little bit of COD via Windows 10 streaming for my Xbox One. So more on that later in the show. What are you
Very
been playing?
cool. Well, let's see. I have been playing a lot of iRacing. A lot of iRacing. Oh, and then I played some iRacing.
Yeah, but this hasn't been a normal iRacing week for you, so I'm looking forward to hearing more about that later on.
The last 2 weeks really haven't been. And so we'll talk a little more about that later. But one of the things we did this past week, though, was we ran the road course at Watkins Glen in the NIS Open. And that was a full-length race. You know how sometimes they do full-length races?
Yeah.
Most of the time they do half-length. This one was full-length. So we did a full 355 miles at Watkins Glen.
How'd your back feel at the end of that sucker?
My back was fine. My knees, it was really weird. Like I got up and my knees were really hurting.
Wait, you need to say it. My knees, they were killing me. Oy vey. I can't handle it.
That race, I haven't posted it to YouTube yet, partly because I left my TeamSpeak chat on the whole time with my 2 to Green buddies, and there was a couple of times it got a little rough. And so I'm not sure I'm going to post that to YouTube. But the race went good. I actually, because of fuel mileage, and actually because I was a couple of laps down, made it on 2 stops. And most people had to do 3, and because of that, I finished in 5th place. So
Nice.
I was pretty
Another
excited.
top 5 for Preach.
Yes. So that's Watkins Glen, the last race, and then Pocono 2 weeks ago, finished 5th there. And then 2 weeks before that was, or 3 weeks ago. What was the race 3 weeks ago?
I don't know, but you had a spa.
Yes, and we'll talk about some spa later. But
Hey,
was
listen,
it
that video-
Indianapolis? Maybe, I don't know. I've had like 3 top 5s in a row, so it's been pretty awesome.
That video that's got the salty language.
Yeah.
I've got a recommendation for you.
Great.
You
I would
should
love to
take
hear
that
it.
video and just record it with your mic open, and every time they cuss, just go boop.
I can do that.
But you don't use it like electronics.
Right.
You
Just
actually
use
sit
my
there
voice.
with your face in the corner. Just go boop.
Just
Hey,
be like,
what's going on? Hey.
"Hey, G, how are you, buddy?"
Long time no see. We're just doing our RezCast TV show, episode 3. Glad you stopped by.
Oh man. Yeah, I would just do that, or I could go, or something like that. No, that's not good. That was okay. Before this spirals out of control, let's
right.
move on, shall we?
Listen, we do have a jam-packed show, so we're gonna get moving here. Preach, take us away. Let's get into
Yeah.
this.
So one thing you'll notice is there is a timer in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. When we start talking about a topic, that timer will start, and we have 10 minutes to talk about each of the following topics. So here we go. The first topic we're going to talk about. Let me get to the news part first, and then we will. Then I'll start the timer after we talk. I hit the news story. But the first news story is last week was Gamescom in Germany, and they had 345,000 people attend Gamescom. Can you believe that? 345,000 people. Let me put this in perspective for you race guys out there. That's right about what Indianapolis Motor Speedway sits like in their seats. That's a huge number.
Crazy.
And they had attendees from 96 different countries even.
See, here's the funny thing. When I've never, well, that's not true. I've heard of Gamescom before, but I didn't know it to be a big event. And so I'm thinking it's a small event, small-ish event, not small, but a small-ish event. And then you threw out that number, 345,000 people. That's a lot of people.
It is. And to top it all off, that was an 8% increase over last year, according to this article. Or excuse me, 5%. 5%. Oh, wait, no.
It's all mixed up.
It's 5% increase over last year for the trade professionals and the industry. But here's one kicker for you. Here's the 5%.
Hang on. 806 companies from 45 different countries were on hand to show off their latest products, which is a 14% increase over Gamescom 2014.
Oh, my bad.
It is your bad. Get your facts straight, man.
Well, they did a 5% increase over last year in the paragraph above.
Oh, gotcha.
But here's something out. You want to hear this? This is crazy.
What's that?
So you and I actually watched the Xbox press conference. Remember, we watched that kind of together through the beauty of the internet. Sony didn't come.
Right. Conspicuously absent, I say.
Sony literally said, "Hey, Gamescom, Germany, peace out. We don't care about you. We're not going to be there."
Thanks, G. That's kind of crazy. How would you not show up there? Why would you? What would be the point of not showing up? Unless you have nothing to really show.
I don't know. I mean, they're kind of reeling a little bit from the E3 stuff where Microsoft talked about backwards compatibility stuff with the Xbox. People are like, "Why are you not doing this with the PlayStation?" I don't know. I don't know why. But to me, when you have 345,000 attendees, that's over 250,000 people. Like, why would you not show up for that? Like, I don't understand. I just don't understand. So,
well, and even more to me is here you are, you're Sony, and if you need reason to go somewhere, it says here of those people that I don't know that this number of 345,000 includes this industry professional number.
Well, it says right there,
200 people in the trade showed up.
It says this figure includes 33,200 industry and trade professionals.
So, but the point is, you get 33,000 plus industry professionals were there, and you weren't. I mean,
and if you take that number out of the 345,000, that's still over 300,000 attendees who could buy your product.
True.
And these guys coming to the show are the hardcore gamers. They're the most dedicated guys in gamedom. They're going to a stinking gaming conference for video games. You tell me these aren't that they paid to go to. It's not like they were like getting there for free. Like they paid to go to this. These guys are the hardcore people.
Horrible German accent.
These are the guys that are going to buy your game because they love PlayStation and don't care about anything else. Like that's I don't know. It's crazy to me.
They didn't have something to show. They're either not ready to show something. They don't have something to show. There's got to be some reason for not showing up to a big event like that. I don't know,
but they didn't. So
there is other news that came out of there, though.
Yes, and so we're gonna do this. We're gonna add a minute to this time. We only talked about that for 5 minutes. That was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
Because the next one is gonna be a little longer. Demian, why don't you give us an idea on what that is?
All right, guys. So next up, now this was the big news, at least for a lot of people that came out of Gamescom. And there was some good stuff that came out of Gamescom. Don't get me wrong, but we got a new WoW expansion announced, and I gotta be honest with you.
Well, don't give your opinion yet. Just talk about the news of it.
I know. I'm
okay.
I'm not a WoW person in terms of a long history with the game. I've tried it a few times. Earlier this year, Preach and some of our other friends got me into it. And I actually got a squishy mage all the way up to level 96 before we bailed out. Although I'm working on changing that now. So I don't know a whole lot of it. I've read Rise of the Horde. I know a little bit of the storyline, but from what I saw, there was some cool stuff in there. But I don't know. Let's take a look.
Let's do this. This is the website on Blizzard's page for it. Let's play the trailer, the cinematic trailer, and then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about it.
Okay.
So what we'll do is we'll play the cinematic trailer, and then we're going to play a teaser trailer that they released also with all the content that they're going to be releasing with it. So this is cinematic trailer. All right, here we go.
May contain content appropriate for children.
Oh, the music.
Anybody got any popcorn? Fire!
I don't remember that part in the trailer where he yells fire like that.
No. This old boy's go down, right?
Yeah, he was pretty much the major evil villain in the current expansion.
Yeah, that we punted through the portal. He needs some dental work.
He drank the demon's blood.
Yeah. They do some awesome stuff.
I wish they would just make a movie out of their cinematic stuff.
I think there's some fan stuff where they put them all together.
So good. Legion.
Warcraft Legion. We shall never be slain. Wait, that was the last one. Sorry.
Yeah. All right. So.
Do you even lore, bro?
So, one thing about this, first of all, I am blown away that Illidan is back. Okay, Illidan is back, and this web page that they released for it, this their homepage, like the first thing that greets you is Illidan. It is amazing looking, absolutely amazing. They got all kinds of cool stuff. If you're interested in watching the developer presentation from Gamescom, it's right here on the website. It's right there for you to watch. But with this, they also released a trailer that had all the features that they're going to release with this version. So why don't we go ahead and watch that, and then we'll get into our discussion of what we think about it. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. You ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Here we go.
More may contain content inappropriate for children.
On Draenor, old rivals sought to bring Azeroth to its knees. And while the Iron Tide was quelled, they were
Quote the Raven.
servants of
Nevermore.
a more ancient foe
I always think that when I see those.
that has not forgotten
That's not a raven.
defiance.
Is it not?
The
It looks like it, but it's Khadgar.
shadow has come.
See? I don't lore, bro. I'm getting there, though. So this looks cool right here. Now you've got the Broken Isles. Some really nice graph. That guy right there, dude, looks awesome.
The talking tree or the guy?
Guy with the big old long.
Oh, yeah.
So we see Ashbringer here and Doomhammer. I don't know what that one is. That's cool. I like the Fireblade.
Yeah.
I have no clue what this is.
And in our most
That's
desperate
cool.
hour, we must wield the power of the enemy against them. For we stand once more upon the brink of destruction.
It is. Very cool addition to the weapons.
Has returned.
Get the furrowed brow. He never looks happy, ever.
Well, if you knew his history, you would know why he never looks happy. He was actually captured by some dragons at one point, a dragon flight, and was held captive. There was a place in Vanilla WoW you could go into this down bottom dungeon, fight your way in with all these elites around, and you would see him in this dungeon. It was crazy. But all right, timer is getting ready to start,
Timer is
and here we go. So we got all kinds of stuff that's coming with this. First of all, the Demon Hunter class.
Hang on.
Whoa.
Okay, so you've been playing this game for a long time. You're on hiatus right now.
Well, yeah, like since it came out, I played every expansion the day it came out.
So I want to, before we go into it, you can give more opinion. I just want to know, tell me what your first initial impression was just from the initial trailer.
So when they showed the trailer at Gamescom, they showed the second trailer, the one that we just showed first, right? The one with all the features.
Yep.
And I think my words to you were, I'm kind of underwhelmed with this.
Yes.
I think part of it is because it's just kind of like that initial reaction was it's more and more of just the same old thing. Like when I was starting out playing WoW, it took time to do things. You just did not get into the game and all of a sudden you got like a high level character and you're raiding. You have to earn it a little bit, and I think I miss a little bit about that.
Earned it.
Well, and I'm not saying I want like an EverQuest game where you got to go into a room and fight something a billion times where it drops half of what you need. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is I think the game is too easy in the form that it's in, and with every expansion so far, it's felt like it's gotten easier. And because of that, it takes less time to get to the higher level stuff that you want to get to, and so you burn out quicker on it, I think. And so I just see a little bit of that in this. But I don't know. I mean, I'm willing to give it a shot. Let's be honest. I will buy this game.
So as they got through the presentation, I know that you were curious about some of the new things that might.
I got excited. Yeah.
Change that trend of easiness.
Yeah, one of the things I got really excited about was the hero class, the Demon Hunters. The Demon Hunter intrigues me as a class. It's a DPS tank class. My guess is it's going to start somewhere around 85. Usually, like the last time they did a hero class, they started at 15 levels from the max level. So if max level is 110, my guess is, well, they'll probably start it at 95. It'd be my guess. No,
Okay.
excuse me, 25 levels. It was 55 when the max level was 70. So it's 25. Right?
No, it'll be 85.
Oh, well then so I am right. It's 15. It was 15. 55 to 70 is 15. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
You're right, Decline. I don't Mythic because I will never have the skill to do Mythic dungeons right now. And plus, to do a Mythic dungeon, you have to have gone through regular and heroic and then get to Mythic. And the guild I'm in is just not. They're just not set up to do that. So.
Wait a minute. So the guild you're in, I know they raid semi-frequently. How
Right.
hard is Mythic?
It's extremely difficult.
Oh, wow.
It's what back in the day that the hardcore raiders would get to only, and it's the same, to similar now. I just think the problem is that they're giving us the same content 3 times. It's the reason why we kept playing Destiny. The same
yeah.
content over and over and over. It's like you can only
Did it
give
drop
me
better
that.
stuff?
It did, but purples only go so far, man.
Yeah, I got you.
You know.
Yep.
Anyway, so the demon class, the demon hunter class intrigues me.
Is it melee?
It's melee.
Okay.
It's a melee tank DPS. So that intrigues me. I think I'll probably check that out. The artifact weapons, for somebody like you who is very, very new to the game, you probably haven't been around too much to see the actual in-game characters wield these weapons.
Correct. I know of Ashbringer because of this trailer, and I know of Doomhammer because I read Rise of the Horde.
Yeah, the cool thing about, like, for people like me, Ashbringer was something that you saw in the original game, the vanilla version of the game, into the Burning Crusade. But you saw it too with the the Lich King stuff, because the paladins were fighting the undead like they were, and it was just this historic weapon that you see, and so having the ability to carry that historic weapon would be like when you played Star Wars and you got your lightsaber for the first time. Like, it's just that kind of epic feel to it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, gotcha.
Which I'm super excited about it, because as you take this weapon, you actually level up with this weapon, and the weapons almost have their like own talent trees, and you level up with this weapon, and as you level up with it, you can change the look of it into different things. And there are some cool things that you get about being able to like change the look specifically for like PvP, for instance,
Oh, okay.
which is cool. So that's kind of cool. You know, I know that there's going to be those people out there who say, well, this weapon should be, you know, only to that character who carried it because it's their thing. It's the weapon itself has as much lore and history behind it as the character does.
Right.
And so
that's what it sounds
yeah.
like is you're gonna spend a lot. It's kind of like something else to do in the game that kind of gives it a little more richness. But I don't know, not being familiar with all the lore, I don't know where it fits. I mean, it's a little. I will say this: it's a little strange to me to have some sort of weapon of epicness. You know, like it's like if you had Lord of the Rings and everybody got a ring.
Yeah.
It's a little weird to me, but maybe they'll play it off right. I don't know.
Well, and I mean, honestly, you're right. Lore-wise, it doesn't fit as well. But the way they'll do a little bit of this is that you go to your guild hall, not your guild hall, excuse me, you'll go to your class hall. So you have this hall that will be your class only. When you go in there, I'm sure it's going to be phased. So you don't see other people. So when you get the quest, it feels like you're the only one doing this. Now, when you go into town, you will see other people with your weapon. Yes,
Yeah.
that is true. It's going to be a little weird. But
You know what? Here's what it's going to be. So if you go, you see everybody running around with was Ashbringers or Doomhammers. If you look closely at the handle, it says "Made in China."
yes, replica only, not for actual fighting. Yeah, stuff like
Right.
that. But here's the thing with this: we've seen this already before with the legendary weapons, or yeah. So you would go out and you would spend all this time to get this orange weapon. When I say orange, the text is orange. And you like the last let's see, it was Mist of Pandaria. They had a cloak version of it, and everybody had the cloak. But it was this legendary weapon or this legendary cloak that you were only supposed to be able to get a few people to get. Thunder Fury was the same way. That only a few people got, honestly, on those because it was legendary. But over time, Blizzard has been opening up those vaults quite a bit more to let anybody and everybody kind of have those legendary weapons. Now you're going to get people with these artifacts that will feel a little weird. The storyline will make it feel like you're the only one, that you're going out to find this weapon because it's imperative that you do to stop the flow of the Burning Crusade, or the Burning Legion, excuse me. But when you go into town, people are going to have the same sword, the same bow, or different versions of that, and it will feel a little weird.
I was going to say, you can customize it, I suppose.
Yeah. But you know what? I mean, we're kind of seeing some of that with the legendary stuff anyway already. But anyway, that could be a podcast in itself.
It really could.
You get the new continent, the Broken Isles. You read something yesterday, I think it was, that said that you could fly pretty much when you get there now. Is that what?
Yeah, they're going to do something, and it was kind of not real clear. So normally you're used to, once you level, you can then buy a pilot's license, right?
Right.
And but it sounds like to me they're going to do something different, so that basically as soon as there's going to be something you can get to where then you can fly. Well, when you say it like that, okay, that's if you get to max level, then you can go fly. But they made a point of saying it differently. So I don't know if they're basically they're going to do it different or something. It wasn't real clear. But somehow they're going to do flight differently. Now I'm going to ask you this. When you reach level 100 in Draenor, can you fly?
Not in Draenor. Whoa. All right, hold on. The timer's going off. Woo! That freaked me out. Not in Draenor. And then they went through this whole thing where they were never going to let you fly in Draenor. And then people kept griping and complaining. No, let us fly. We got these mounts that we paid you $30 for these special mounts, yada, yada. Finally, they're like, okay, fine. Go do these things. Because they had all these, like, platformer type stuff where you could go up and get this, feather up here, or go up and get this scroll, and you had to jump and do all these things differently. They did. If you went through and got the achievement for that, then you could fly in Draenor. So they gave in a little bit with there. I personally think that when they added flying to the game, it hurt it. I love going through the new continents for the first time on my mount. Now, yes, it's nice to fly after that, I admit. But
the rumor is the developers don't like us flying. That's what I hear. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You're muted. Oh, there we go.
No, I'm just thinking, sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, the developers have said that they feel like that putting flying in the game was wrong. Like they shouldn't have done it. But I don't know. I mean,
there's probably two camps on that one. But yeah, I mean, you see in chat, there's some people talking about how some of the stuff they're trying to do is kind of an apology for Draenor, or that they couldn't fly in the new expansion, things like that. So
yeah, well, and that was what it was a lot of people complained about not being able to fly in Draenor, and I understand why they did, because there are mounts out there that they got that were flying mounts that people got and had to spend tons of time doing. I know there was this dragon mount that I got back in Burning Crusade that I literally spent like 2 months to get, because you had to get this rep grind up, and it was worth it because it's an amazing mount. So people are like, I want to use that. Well, they said you can as a ground mount, just walk with it. But that's weird, walking with a dragon that has wings. Or Blizzard started selling mounts, where you can go to their webpage right now and buy a mount for World of Warcraft for 30 bones. $30. Well, if I'm going to buy a mount for $30, I better be able to use it.
I better be able to fly it, yeah.
So, anyway, it's in the game. I think they need to keep it to where when you go through the zone for the first time to get to max level, you can't fly until it's time till you get to max level. When I went through that way for Lich King, Wrath of the Lich King, it was amazing. And then was I happy that I got to fly after I think it was 78 at that time you could get it. Yes, I was. But being able to go through that on a ground mount for the first time was amazing. So
yeah, I mean, to the point, like G saying in chat, is it's kind of almost too late to yank that out now. I know they've also kind of designed the game now with flying in mind somewhat.
Well, they had to, because the original
new person, I could have done without the flying. Yes, it made things easier, and yes, I took advantage of it. But had I not been able to fly, I probably would have appreciated the game that much more, because I was just trying to level as quick as I could. Now that I just started playing it again, I'm glad that I leveled, because it let me see new things and roll with you and Tugarok and some of the other guys and see and kind of learn some stuff. But now I'm going back and I'm playing at a slower pace, and I'm enjoying it. So I can see where not being able to fly is not a bad thing.
Yeah. Well, that's
another podcast.
Oh yeah, and I mean there are podcasts who have said we are no longer going to talk about this. Yeah. So anyway, we're way over time on this, but this is a huge announcement. My guess is this will be probably November 2016 that we see this come out.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
You couldn't. Yeah, that's a good point. Decline in chat says that you couldn't do final raids without flying Mountain Wrath, and that's true. You couldn't. There was some places you couldn't get without a mount. But you know what? That was cool though, because those are raids that happen when you're max level. I feel good about that. So, but anyway, all right.
At least you aren't bankrupt.
Yes, I do have some money in WoW, but
That was a
other
smooth
people
transition.
maybe don't have as much money as I do in WoW. The news story is now that the developer, Grin, Grin, capital N on the end, the developer of Wolf, the Red Hood Diaries, which is a episodic content game, has gone bankrupt, and they were a Kickstarter. This was all through Kickstarter that they raised money to make this game. They released the first episode, and then nobody heard from them for a while, and they come out and said, "Hey, we're bankrupt. We can't do anything about this." And they raised $72,000 to make this. And so
Which-
all the people who put money into this to get a product that they were supposed to get is not going to get that now.
So I'm going to say this: anybody that knows how to do development, software development, okay. And I don't do game development, but you can't buy a whole lot with 72 grand in the software world. I mean, you can buy yourself a website, sure. You can buy yourself a small web application. You can buy yourself maybe a few of those, but a full game? No way.
We just talked 2 weeks ago about a game that got crowdfunded.
Yes, we
Remember
did.
that? Shenmue
Yes.
3.
Episode 1, or was it episode 2?
That was 2. That was episode 2. And it literally raised, was it like $6 million?
$6.2 million, I believe.
Yeah.
And even that, you could burn through that cash real quick. I mentioned it in that episode. I said, think about it. The game that Kurt Schilling, the baseball player, turned CEO of
Kingdoms
GameStop,
of Amalur, or however you say
they
it.
burned through like $50 to $75 million, and so it's real easy with software.
Yeah.
But I will say this though: if we watch the video here, it actually it looked like maybe a halfway decent game.
Okay, we can do this. Here's the launch trailer for Wolf, the Red Hood Diaries, that they released. Like I said, episode 1 was already released.
I mean, I don't know if there's any point in watching it because it's not coming out, but I think it's a little rough, but I think it's kind of cool.
So this game was based to be kind of like a Assassin's Creed type game. That kind of gameplay, okay? So here we go. Here's Wolf, the Red Hood Diaries launch trailer. Here we go.
I don't like their name, Gren.
My name is Red Riding Hood. I have no father, no mother, no fear. Father spoke in drawings, more often than in words. Charcoal was his mother tongue. He sketched the most beautiful stories I've ever heard. The truth behind my father's death was buried along with his body. Lips were sealed and the case was closed, but not for me. Wait.
I'm digging the
Wolf
roughness,
knows
the
I'm
colors.
here, and he's after Granny, the only twig left on my family tree.
So it almost reminds me of a cross between Red Riding Hood meets Assassin's Creed meets 2D-ish scroller.
Yeah. Yep.
Oof, I love the artwork though.
So here's the GameSpot reviewed the episode 1, and they gave it 4 out of 10. Do you think that review score could have killed them, and that could be part of why they had to go bankrupt because they didn't make enough money off of episode 1 to keep working? I mean,
I don't know. Oh, hang on a second.
here's a quote from the developer, the lead developer guy. He says the optimism in me led me to believe we could actually pull off making a bigger indie game. I really wanted to prove an indie game did not have to be rendered in pixels or stylized as a solution to cut development cost. I wanted to believe that a team of 6 to 10 people could make the game that looked and felt like a AAA game. Boy, was I wrong.
I'm quieter again. So I got to say this. Everybody in software is always more optimistic, is unrealistic about timelines. Particularly with something you're excited about, you're going to have scope creep, feature creep, and then you're going to do something on a really small. Now, I believe small teams can be very flexible and can do amazing things in development. And again, I'm not a game developer, but and 6 to 10 people could do fine. But again, the amount of money they got, I don't know. I mean, if you think about it this way, 6 to 10 people, $72,000 a year. Starting salaries for developers, or depending on where you are, is $70,000 a year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this tells me right off the bat, this is a part-time labor of love, and 6 to 10 people, all of them have to love it a whole lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
You're probably not getting too many benefits from this company like this.
No. The other thing that it says to me is another quote from, at first we could not believe that our baby was not more successful. In our emotions, we started looking for explanations not related to the game. He added, maybe gamers are just spoiled brats, bashing on everything. Maybe there is an oversaturation of indie market. Maybe all the free-to-play games by big studios are giving players a false sense of value. How could less than $10 be too expensive for a beautiful game like Wolfie? How could this be our fault? Now, he does go on to say, but in the end, Wooters admitted that
of
Grin
course
only had itself to blame for its struggles. I think that's just a case of denial. You know, if you do have a labor of love and it's not going out the way you want it to, you know, you're going to look for other reasons. But at the end of the day, look, man, you didn't raise enough money. It's just that simple.
You want to be a developer that makes like major brownie points with gamers. You take your studio, whoever it is, big studio, you come in, you buy the rights to this game from this company now that they've gone bankrupt. You develop, you continue developing the chapters of this game. And then anybody who gave the Kickstarter money in the beginning still gets their rewards for whatever they gave on their level. You would be the greatest development company in the world right then.
Well,
but you would need to be a big company to do that. You want, okay, EA, you need to do this. I know you're watching EA, not really, but EA, you need to do this.
Local.
Yes.
You know, their studios are local to me here in town. They do Madden and all them here.
EA, you want to come back from your SimCity debacle or your Sims 4 debacle. Get this game, make it right, give it to the people who did the Kickstarter for free, and you'll make some brownie points with gamers. I guarantee it.
No,
so EA, I know you're watching. I know
their
you're watching.
reputation is so wrecked. Give me a break.
All right.
All right.
So
let's move on. You know what? Before we move on, so that's the end of the news then. Okay. I apparently I've gotten quieter again. Can you guys hear me? I'm actually like talking directly into the mic. I may have to reposition my mic from now on. 72K was undersized. I agree. Yeah. So I want to say this, guys, while we're here, while we're chatting, before we move on to the next segment, which is going to be a new segment this week. We haven't done this before. If you're hanging out in chat and you're not a follower here or a subscriber over on YouTube, you know, go take a second to click the follow button or go over to YouTube and click that subscribe button. This is just a sampling. This show is a sampling of some of the plans that we have. We're going to be doing a little bit of restructuring of our schedule, and we're going to be trying to put out this show is every other week. And we've got some other ideas in the works too, including potentially a podcast. So, but that's all I'm going to say about that. But for now, make sure you click that follow button.
If you want to know what a podcast from Demian and I would be like, when I count to 3, close your eyes. 1, 2.
This is weird.
3.
Okay.
Now this is what a podcast would sound like from Demian and I.
Except we wouldn't be playing videos because that doesn't play so well
No.
on the radio.
No, not at all. All right. So we have a new segment for you guys tonight, episode 3, and we have a new. Oh yes.
One more thing. I'm sorry. I forgot to mention with that follower, we're not just asking you to follow us. Okay. We're gonna give something back when we hit that 300 follower limit. We're doing a 300 follower giveaway.
Yes.
So here on Twitch, when we hit 300 followers, we're gonna do a giveaway. We did a giveaway at 200. It was a $20 RezcastTV Amazon gift card. So let's click that follow button.
All right. So
yes, new segment.
New segment. Here we go. Are you ready?
Wait.
Oh gosh.
If this works, Preach had a great idea. If this doesn't work, Preach had a bad idea. I'm just putting
Wow. So if this goes great, it was my idea. If it goes bad, I got thrown under the bus. So, all right. So we have a new segment for you guys tonight. Tonight we're gonna play a little game called. Can I get like a dun 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 from you or something? Buy, rent, or skip. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna show a trailer to a game. It's either a trailer or a little bit of gameplay trailer. And with Gamescom that just happened, we got some good stuff. So we're going to show that. And after we show that, we're going to go, oh my gosh, all that stuff disappeared off my screen. All right, this will be fun. All right, so after we show that, we're going to go through and talk about whether we would buy the game, just rent the game because we don't feel like it's a buy, or skip it altogether. All right? Damian, do you understand how the rules work?
Yes.
Okay.
Buy, rent, skip.
Our first game on the docket for us tonight is Mirror's Edge Catalyst. So here's the trailer.
I have dogs like hacking over here.
All right. Are you ready?
Oh my. Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
Here we go.
It's Minority Report. Ah! It's Matrix.
Faith, got a run for you. A good one. Quick data grab. Should be good script.
Time to make myself useful, huh? Where do I go?
You need to make your way to the Agricultural Division at Elysium.
That's a long trailer.
We won't show the whole thing.
What the hell? Just saw a couple of KSAT guards hassling an employee. What are they after?
There's a lot of Kruger sec chatter about some runner they need to subdue. Avoid the VTOLs and don't get into any scraps.
She's so stealthy on how she opens doors.
Taller buildings. You should see their logo on the side.
Right, I know. It's just knock knock. Oh wait.
Instead, I'm going to use my forearm like a hammer.
Doesn't feel right.
Something doesn't feel right as you're slamming your body into stuff.
Yeah,
Got it.
you're on the side of a tall sky-rise building.
I got this.
That, you know, whatever.
It's called Vertigo. What's that called? It's parkour.
Fancy.
Yeah,
Elysium Labs.
it's parkour for Xbox.
They are very protective about this data, so there's no margin for error, you understand?
Ooh, this first-person view is
I got
kind of
plenty of
awesome.
commotion below. An exec motorcade arriving. Enforcers everywhere. What? This is not looking right at all. We should abort the run.
Let me roll with it, Noah.
We do not mess with Gabriel Kruger.
I need the script.
It's not like I can stop you anyway. Icarus, keep us updated on any changes
Did
outside.
she say script or script?
I'm not sure. We're going to scoot forward a little bit. I want to show this now.
All right.
Go to 342. Actually,
Okay.
go to 351.
Okay. Oh, and now we catch up with the beginning.
Night.
Deal with him.
Yeah, I don't think.
The mirror, activate the alarm. Deal with him.
catch her. Oh, they're telling you how to play.
Well, they're just showing some.
Don't try to take on everyone. Get out, okay?
Yes. Oh, nice.
Shooting at her.
Good job.
All right.
Something will catch you.
Okay. That's it.
Woo.
All right. So what do you got, Damian? Here we go. We got 1 minute on the clock. You got 30 seconds. Go.
Okay, so this game. Okay, so I'm torn between. It's either a buy or a rent for me. Okay, definitely.
It's got to be one or the other.
I know. I'm gonna land on one. I gotta talk myself into it. So, right off the bat, I love the speed of the game. It's fast. I like the first-person view. It's intense, and I dig intense games like that. I don't know about the storyline too much. Obviously, there's some
3 seconds.
It's a rent because I don't know the game title itself.
Okay. So you got it as a rent. For me, right away, I can just tell you that is a skip. I would probably throw up playing that game. Every time she rolls, the camera goes with it. I would be motion sick as all get out. It would not work. I mean, it looks cool. It looks neat. But I don't know. I don't think I could do it. I would be just like throwing up motion. I'd have to take Dramamine to play the game. It'd be really weird. So that's a skip for me. All right. That's time.
All right. Next one.
All right. So, the next one, let me clear these.
Time's up. I shouldn't talk about it anymore. That's the rules.
Oh, what the heck? All right, next game, Star Wars Battlefront. This is the Fighter Squadron mode gameplay trailer. All right?
Bootleg. Sorry.
That's all right.
Tell me when.
All right, here we go. Wait, don't do it yet.
Okay.
Here we go.
Attention all fighters. There is an Imperial transport attempting to escape. Find the target and take it out.
Okay, Red Squadron. Stay in attack formation. We have eyes on the Imperial transport. The rebels cannot be allowed to intercept this transport. Insurance extraction. Affirmative. I'm going in.
Oh, what? Nice.
Show no mercy.
Oh no!
We could use some help. Copy that. Air support on the way.
Those things aren't even meant to fly in atmosphere. Come on.
All wings. This is it. Take them out. We're pushing.
Gonna be a hot time in the old town tonight.
Locking on.
Great shot.
Nice.
I've been hit.
Behind you. Shake him off. Do not relent. Show them the power of the Empire.
Oh, snap.
Leader, we're outnumbered.
Never tell me the odds.
Sorry. Doing lines. Doing lines from the movie.
Transport is vulnerable. Take it out.
If this wasn't a buy before.
All right. Chat is going crazy with Star Wars love right now. All right, Damian, are you ready? Here we go. Clock is started. Go.
Bye. Bye. It's a total buy. Are you kidding me? No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Star Wars. I would not consider myself a huge Star Wars fan to the point where I've read a bunch of books or anything like that, but I love Star Wars. If it wasn't a buy before the Millennium Falcon came in, as a kid, I wanted to be Han Solo. I wanted to fly the Millennium Falcon. I very much love this game. So it's a buy for me, solid buy.
Okay. For me, it is also a buy, but I need a caveat with that, and that's this. I'm going to wait. I'm not going to buy it when it comes out because I would want to rent this game first, I think, but I don't know how EA does their rent stuff anymore if you got to like pay extra to play online or whatever. I mean, the game looks amazing, but it is an EA game, so that makes me very, very nervous. Okay? Extremely nervous.
Here's the thing. Everybody gives EA a bunch of junk. Rightly so. EA has made me mad on more than one occasion. But they do still manage to put out some good stuff sometimes. And so if you can get past the fact that you're putting money back into EA's pocket, I think if they screwed this game up, it would be big time. They would really, really hear about it. But definitely, in my opinion, it's a buy.
All right. Okay, so next game.
Based off of chat, it's a buy.
It is, yeah. I mean, I'm going to buy it. I just feel like I'm going to probably wait a little bit. But anyway, that's all right. Okay, next game. A little game that's called We Happy Few. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
Compulsion.
London Bridge has fallen down.
Any game that starts just like that, it's got to be good.
London Bridge has fallen down.
It's also going to give me nightmares.
Take the keys and lock them up. Yes, go on.
Lock them up. Oh my.
Take the keys and lock them up.
Camp Franco, man.
Everything is quite all right. Sleepy tight. Nighty night. Everything's out of sight. My fair
Oh my goodness. She doesn't like clouds.
Okay. All right, here we go. I'll start this one. Here we go. So for me, this game, like I hate horror movies and I hate horror games, right? Absolutely hate them, okay? But for some reason, this game intrigues me a little bit. Like something in this game goes, this is super creepy and I'll probably pee my pants, but I want to play it. So for me, this game is definitely a rent. Go.
Okay, for me, this game is without a doubt a rent. This has got to be rented and played. I don't know if I'll buy it. It is conceivable that I could rent this game and go, oh my gosh, this madness I must have in my life more than a week or two. I may end up buying it, but right now it's probably just a rent, but it's a solid rent for me just because of the madness. And I don't like clowns either, but for whatever reason, I'm drawn to this. Maybe I like pain. I don't know.
I don't know what it is either, but I am super drawn to it too. Like when I first saw this, I was like, that game freaked me out, just the trailer, but I want to play it. I don't know why. Yeah, I'll probably be like the guy that's like sitting around screaming in his own house with it. All right.
Any game that has me going, what?
Just this part, the trailer. Right here. This part right here has to be the creepiest thing ever in any game. Is when the guy is on the pink scooter rocking horse thing, and the little old lady is just standing there, and she has that white mask on with the creepy face. Like that is like I'm looking at now, I'm getting chills. Like it's the spookiest thing ever. But I'm drawn to it. I want to play this game. I have no clue why, but all right. Here's the last one of our buy, rent, sell game for tonight. A little game.
Great Gamescom.
Oh, a little game called Rise of the Tomb Raider. Are you ready? Are you muted?
Yes, I was.
Okay, here
My phone
we.
was hacking, sorry.
Oh, all right, no problem. Here we go.
Have a great Gamescom.
Subjugation. What's up? Oh, look. Isn't she always hanging off of something?
Yeah, I think that's just kind of like how the game is designed.
It's her thing, I think.
They probably have a board where they have to mark each time she's hanging on something, and they have to get to so many of them.
Did you see what that skeleton just did?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Found you.
Right. Like you're moving that big concrete lid.
Dude, she is, man. Just
Grunting Simulator 2015.
Have a great game.
oh man.
That's grand.
All right, so this is the last one, Q. You got 1 minute. Go.
Okay, this game is a skip for me. Now, I'm not going to say it's because it's a bad-looking game. It does look really, really good. But the simple fact of the matter is I've never really played the franchise. I don't know. Maybe, hey, it's a long season, a long drought of games. Maybe I end up going and renting it. But right now, it's a skip for me. Until I hear otherwise from somebody I know that's played it and has enjoyed it. I don't really have a reason other than I think it looks great. I just, for whatever reason, I've just never been drawn to it.
Okay, so for me, the Tomb Raider games have been something that I've played ever since the beginning. Like the original PlayStation when they had them, and it was like that weird 2D graphic stuff, and you're running from giant boulder men and everything. Tomb Raider is one of the coolest games ever. For me, this game is definitely a buy. I will be picking this game up for sure.
Wow.
Yes, this is a buy. You know, it's a great looking game. It looks good. The last one they had that came out, the last one they had that came out really, really looked good and was fun to play. This is definitely a buy for me. So.
Well, and as a plus note, Jester has said that the ending is apparently not super porny this time. So I guess that's a plus.
Nice.
I read that as corny initially. I don't know.
I think he says the deaths are not.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that death. Anyway. Okay.
Well, they made them very, very gory. Yeah, they tried to like just do some weird stuff graphically, and
Gotcha.
yeah. So.
Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
So, hey, I think that segment went pretty well.
Yeah, let us know, guys. Definitely, the best way to let us know about what you think about what you're seeing on the show is when we get the video up on YouTube. Go over there and make some comments for us. Let us know if you like this part. You know, let us know what parts you liked, and we got some other different like games that we want to do with that. So definitely keep an eye on that. So one of the things we do is at the end of our show, we like to end with just some highlights over the last 2 weeks of what's been happening on RezCast TV. And so we got some highlights we want to talk about, and then we're going to close things down. So we'll start off with a little video you did, Q, about Windows 10. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your Windows 10 experience?
Okay, so I was running Windows 8.1 on my gaming system here, and I've been a little frustrated with it because they made it very tablet-centric, which I have no problem with, but when you're on the desktop, I kind of wanted that to be gone. And so with Windows 10 being free, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll probably upgrade at some point. And the day it came out, I believe, Preach said, I'm doing it.
I did.
So he did it.
I did.
And so I said, Preach, how did it go? And he said, overall, aces. And
Yep.
so I'm like, cool, I'm going to do it too. And so I did it too, because one of the benefits of Windows 10 is you can stream from your Xbox One, which mine, I'm pointing over there because, well, mine's not over there right now because my kids took it to the living room, but it was over there, and I streamed from there to my machine. I made sure it was hardwired from the Xbox One to the router and the router to here, my computer. And I streamed that over Twitch. And I have to say that you could definitely tell that there was a little bit of degradation in video quality on my PC from the streaming it. And maybe there was a little tiny bit of lag. If you were a super good player, it might bother you. I really didn't notice it so far. I think it was kind of not too bad. You want to play a couple minutes of it?
Yeah, it's playing right now while you're talking.
Okay.
Yeah, so one of the things he did in this video is he actually gave a tutorial on how to set it up too. So if you don't know how to set up running your Xbox One to your Windows 10 system, go check out this video. He gives you an idea how to do it. Amongst his gameplay, some good, some not so good.
Hey. We all have bad days.
Yeah, I know.
But overall, I think it was a positive experience. And the one thing I'll say, if for some reason change in refresh rates or something bothers your eyes, like you get that in the back of a car reading feeling. I did get that on my PC screen while I was playing it a little bit. So I can't do long periods of time doing it through the stream. I don't know what causes that exactly. I thought it was the refresh rate or something, but for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, not bad, and I had a good time, and I was able to stream it over Twitch, which means new games for us to stream over Twitch.
Yeah, you know, this is something that I got the capture card for. And so one benefit of the capture card is, you know, spending the extra almost $200 on it is I can set my screen up to show the capture to Twitch, and then I can switch over to a straight connection from the Xbox, so I don't get any of that screen tear or that motion blur.
Oh, watch this, watch this. Oh, never mind.
So, yeah, so
it was a good shot for me. It was a bad one. I shouldn't have brought it up.
so, you know, this is one good thing about having the Xbox or the Xbox One and Windows 10 is being able to stream to your PC and capture that for Twitch or YouTube. So, very good.
I'll say this. I will still eventually be getting a capture card just because I think I want the higher quality for the stream eventually. But since I have other things we're trying to get right now, like possibly a wheel, you know, it'll let me put it off a little bit and still be able to stream some of the games. So
cool. All right. So another thing that's happened over the last 2 weeks, we alluded to it a little bit earlier, is that we had a 24-hour race in iRacing, Spa, 24 hours. Yeah, 24 hours at Spa, and I participated in that with 2 to Green, the race team that I'm part of in iRacing, and we finished.
Explain how that works. Explain how that works.
Okay, so the way this works is we had 7 people, I think it was, and
Well, I
the
mean, like
car
in real life-
drives in real life. Okay, so in real life, the car drives for 24 hours.
just like the Rolex, which you're
Yes.
coming back down for the beginning
So,
of next year.
and they switch drivers through that. So they switch drivers during that time, so new guys can get in fresh, and the car keeps going for 24 hours. So we did it. They do. It's a real race that happens, 24 hours at Spa, and so iRacing does it, and our team, 2 to Green Racing, finished P5 in our class. So we finished 5th in our class. It was a multi-class race, and we finished P9 overall. So 5th in our
Which is
class
really
and
good.
9th overall, and we were in the slower of the 2 classes also. And the overall is all the classes together in their finish. So I have a little video here of a little bit of my racing stint. My entire stint is on YouTube. Here's a little bit of video. And something happens here. I go in for a pit stop, and, well, something happens. So check this out. 22 pitting this time. 22 pitting this time.
It's a really cool track too. I mean, I'm saying that in chat right there, but it really is a neat track.
It was very fun.
All right, here they come on the left. Good decision making there.
It was very fun to run this race.
Getting into this pit is tricky though. I could see people almost hitting the wall.
37, make sure that pit limber is set.
So the voice you're hearing is one of our teammates doing spotting for us.
Which they had a spotter through the whole race. All 24
Yes,
hours.
live
Actually,
spotter the whole race.
Yep. It's part of team
It was
racing.
a long pit road though.
Thank you. I'm gonna hit this and pee while they're changing the tires.
Yes, you heard me correctly.
I will be my fastest.
I'm going to pit, and while they're changing the tires, I'm going to go pee.
Yeah,
So-
this really was a pit stop.
Yeah, I had to go so bad.
Yeah,
Literally,
the
I
rule is
jumped up.
Team racing had at least 2 drivers.
He gets 60, not even 60 seconds. He's got to go do his business.
No, this isn't 60 seconds. This is
The pit stops take about 50 something seconds.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
supposed
yeah.
to be how long you took.
yeah. Well, I might have taken a little longer,
Watch
but
how
that's because
fast
I had to
these
like,
tires-
yeah. Whoop! I had to get out of the seat. It was tough. I wonder what my wife thought because she was like downstairs, and I had to like I ran to the bathroom.
Jeff, did you leave the session?
No, I've never left the session.
Flush.
Yeah.
So you know while you're away.
Well, I washed my hands too, so that probably
Some people were having troubles. Once they
Okay,
left the session.
flush, crush, splash.
yeah.
Nope.
So you see the clock right here in the middle of the screen, guys. He's at 25 seconds.
I did not.
And you'll see the car go up when they start changing the tires because they're still putting gas in it.
I left whenever one day you have dinner, but
And you still hear his spotter and some of his teammates.
All right, so now the car went up, so now they're putting tires on, and I'm still not back. We're 45 seconds in.
Okay, the car's been dropped.
When we did Daytona, I was afraid to turn it off because I was.
Now it's 50 seconds.
That might happen.
Car's dropped, 50 seconds,
I left it on the entire.
and we're still waiting. And my team's probably like, yeah, there it is. Chad, you there? Chad, are you there?
To his credit, he didn't make it back in 51 seconds.
But almost. There was.
Look, he's back. Go, 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 go. He goes right there, man. He was off again. That was great.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said? I got a little gun shy when I got in there.
And it was one of those things.
It takes so long to change tires.
Well, it's the fuel. It takes forever to fuel the car.
Now you'll see it, me in chat. I'm basically saying if you're a real race car driver, if you're really serious about this simulation, you would have simulated by actually peeing in the seat like a real race car driver. He wouldn't do it.
Nope, never will. Sorry, never will. So, there you go.
Fun to watch. It really was.
Yeah, and we got the full two. So we did fuel runs. So I did 2 fuel runs. Yep, there them answering Demian, telling him I'm not being in the seat. I did 2 fuel runs. So go over YouTube, check that out, and watch that. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do the 24-hour race coming up in January, February that they do in iRacing.
Real race car drivers pee in a bottle. I guess that's true, technically speaking. They
All right.
probably have something there.
So you mentioned earlier a little bit about HOTS, and why don't you go tell us a little bit about how you and I are doing? And I'm just going to play this video while you tell us how we're doing.
So we're being scouted by some of the top Korean teams to start playing on the pro circuit.
Wait, they're Korean teams?
I don't know.
Yeah, because that's where the big.
I thought it was Japan.
Well, maybe it was Japan. I don't know.
Oh.
I thought it was Korean teams because I thought that's where they had the big stadiums over there. But maybe it's some of the Japan. All I know is we're top players. We've won at least 1 or 2 matches.
Yes. Out of how many we played though?
More than that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, a few more than that.
And they were against AI.
Yeah.
Against AI, but
most of them. Yeah.
No, none of that is true. So we've been playing Heroes of the Storm, and I've been having a lot of fun playing it. I've been losing a lot, and I don't think we've gotten yelled at too badly. I did have one person make a snide comment that basically indicated didn't talk directly at me. I was playing Thrall, and instead of saying, "Hey, dude, you need to play that character like this," they simply said, "Hey, this Thrall guy over here thinks he's range DPS." I'm like, what the heck? You know, so, but overall, it's been a lot of fun. I've never really played a MOBA. I did play Heroes of the Storm in beta, like a couple matches, maybe. But was very confused by it, to be honest with you, because I'm like, okay, we start here, our objective is this, but there's more objectives in the game, and that's what I've learned. And so Preach, even though you haven't played this a whole lot, you're still a little more savvy with this than I am. So he's kind of been, hey, let's go here, let's do this, take the middle, you know. So, but yeah, I don't think we've done that well.
We really haven't done well. And part of it's just because we don't know much about the game. I mean, how it works. We get lucky, I think, when we get victories, honestly. So.
Well, hang on now.
I mean,
yeah, probably. Yeah.
So I like the game, but I can only play so much of it before I'm just like, I'm done with it. I can't do anymore. So, but it's good.
I don't know. I would think I would be that way, but I'm really liking playing it. I don't know why.
I just like that it's free to play. I like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I mean, you can buy the characters if you want. You can buy characters if you want with gold, in-game gold if you want. And yeah, you can go ahead and buy them with real money. Subjugation says it's probably the easiest MOBA to get into.
No, I don't.
That's what
that I understand to be true. So.
My oldest is a huge Smite fan.
130 gold again.
And definitely has said, yeah, in his opinion, Heroes is, excuse me, as far as MOBAs go, pretty straightforward. So, I don't know. I think I could get the hang of it, you know, fairly quickly.
And it'll be stuff that we do again. I mean, we'll be streaming it quite a bit more, I'm sure. So.
Yeah.
Come watch us be noobs in the game and check it out with us. So.
Or yeah, totally.
Yeah, and if you want to play with us, let us know. We'd love to have you in. So.
Yep. Hey, so there's one more thing that we did this week that I worked on this week, and like I said earlier, I'm working on trying to level my squishy mage up and in World of Warcraft. And I ran into kind of a bug. So one of the other things that we're trying to do out on YouTube to provide a little extra value is anytime we run across something that we already know about or something we've learned in game that might be beneficial for others to know, we do a tutorial or a quick tip. And so what we've got here is a situation where I went out and I was on a quest and I completed said quest. And when I came back to my lumber mill in my garrison, the person that I got the quest from, Weldon Barov, I believe his name was, he wasn't there. And so I was kind of confused by like, okay, well, where is the guy I need to turn the quest into? So I start poking around and I see the yellow question mark, which is where you turn in quests in WoW, if you don't know, over in my fishing pond outside my garrison. So I went there and there was nobody there. Although the question mark said, had the title of the
Quest.
So a little poking around, a little surfing, a little research, and there was a lot of weird information out there. But come to find out, when my garrison quests finished, suddenly all my followers returned back to the garrison because they were all gone doing garrison quests, and I could then turn in my quest in the lumber mill. But it's definitely still a bug in the game. Now, that makes sense, common sense, I suppose. You guys got to be there and not on a quest in order for you to turn it in. But there is a bug, because it does still show, even when he returned, it still showed that the quest could be turned in over in my fishing pond. So this is just a quick tip video on kind of how I did that and explaining that. I don't know if you want to play it or not, or what have you, but it's just kind of an example of some of the stuff that we want to try to do to help you guys out.
Yeah, it was just interesting because, like, when you first explained it to me, like, duh, right? If your dude is out on a garrison quest, you can't turn the quest into him.
Right.
But the problem comes in that the game still puts a question mark in your garrison. Another bug with this too is if you have the inn and you go in and get a quest from the inn, one of the inn guys, they give dungeon quests. You go do your dungeon quest, say a couple of days later, you come back. Well, that person happens to not be in the inn that day. The question mark still shows up, but they're not there. So it's just a weird thing. It's kind of like, hey, this is where you're supposed to turn it in, but the guy's not here, so you have to come back tomorrow. So
please leave a message.
Yeah, but that video is there on our YouTube channel. You guys can check that out if you have some questions about that, and enjoy it. And if you like, we'd really like you guys to go over and hit our YouTube channel up and hit subscribe if you haven't. We know a lot of you have already, and we really appreciate that. And because YouTube is a place where we can put everything we're doing out there, and we can kind of see and gauge kind of what you guys like. Yeah, exactly. So, all right.
So, hey, we had a great chat conversation this episode. So we're doing the show every 2 weeks, guys. So it'll be Monday. I don't have a calendar up, but it will be 2 weeks from tonight. And typically we roll at 9 p.m. Eastern time. And we would love it if you guys would come back and check out the show again. We will probably be doing a similar format to what we did. And I want to thank you guys for hanging out and providing great conversation in chat. It's super awesome that you guys are here. And Preach Man, good show. I appreciate you running the controls over there.
Hey, no problem. Glad it went well. And guys, again, thanks for being here tonight. I know, honestly, when we do the show and we have you guys in chat, it makes it a lot more enjoyable to do the show.
Way more so. Yeah.
So, and that goes for our YouTube channel too, RezcastTV Gaming. Go check that out and leave some comments. Hit the like button. Those things. It just helps us know that what we're putting out is good stuff. So, spelled starting wrong. Starring. I did, didn't I? That's amazing. Every one of those graphics is going to be wrong now, and I have to put it back. I have to change it. But. Yeah. All right. Great. Thanks. That's perfect. That's a great way to end the show. We are human too. We make mistakes. So we'll be fixing that. So.
Contrary to popular belief.
All right, guys. Thanks again for being here tonight. We'll be on tomorrow night. Are you doing anything anymore tonight? It's 10:30, 8.
Probably not.
Okay.
If I do, it's probably not going to be streamed. I got to go take it. We got on a little late tonight, so hopefully we'll get on time next time.
Yeah, no, perfect. Tomorrow night, I joined a new iRacing League, and I will be racing trucks tomorrow night. It'll be at Daytona, and so definitely come back. It's part of the RCL and Integrity Racing League, and so come check that out tonight or tomorrow night, and then Wednesday we'll be streaming the NIS Open at Michigan, and currently I'm 18th in points in the NIS Open, so we're going to try to give that the best do the best we can. So check that out, and then Thursday night Demian will be back with I'm not sure what you'll do yet.
Choice.
So yeah,
Who
so
knows?
anyway, glad to have you guys here tonight, and we will see you next time.
Hey, that's a wrap for the RezcastTV show. Peace, guys.
Good night.